All right, so this is a very quick demo for a particular customer. They are running a very small cluster of I4I large 3 nodes, which basically means that they have 2 CPUs per machine. They are running lightweight transaction as well, so that makes things worse for them. And they have been having a lot of latency problems and some other issues from the application point of view because they don't have the latest Scylla drivers for the Node.js, because that's simply because we don't have one yet. So until that is released by Scylla, they are using the DataStax version of Node.js driver. So looking at this particular cluster, this is a representation of their own cluster. Is 3 node I4A large, and then we can see that the client latencies are unpredictable and bad. P99 is like almost reaching 100 milliseconds at times, and then if you look at the speculative data reads by DC, that's also going high compared to what it should be, because the cluster is very small. So this 300 reads is also significant. The P99 read latencies, if you see, that's also in a very bad range, like 40 milliseconds or so. Even if you go by shards, um, we can see like the read latencies are actually um, spiking a bit. So if you, yeah, over here, so because I just started this setup, so you can see that the worst one is up to like 49 milliseconds, or up to, actually 50 milliseconds or so. So yeah, so what we are going to do is that we recommended them to disable the speculative reads from their table. They have done a lot of other things that we recommended that help them, but this is the last thing that we are suggesting them to disable the speculative reads. They were not confident about this, so I did this particular demo to them, showing that it does make a difference for a small cluster, because having speculative reads does not really help them much, because they have only 2 CPUs available, and those two are already overloaded, and running extra background queries on those two CPUs makes things worse for them. So what we are going to do is we are going to um, go to this terminal, and I'm going to, so currently as we see, the speculative reads is set to P99. So I'm going to set it to none, so that it's basically disabled. So as soon as we do that, um, we should see the latencies from the client's perspective going down. I'm throttling to 27,000 operations per second, which is actually hovering around that number, and we can already see that the latencies are getting better. But what about the database side? That's more important. We can see the speculative reads by shard. It should go down any minute now. It's still pulling the last status from the monitoring stream, so it's still pulling that. It may require a few more seconds to get to the later stage. And if you scroll down uh, to the latencies are still there, but let's give it a few more minutes as the speculative reads drop down, and the latency will also drop down. So it is currently set to 5 minutes. Let's take a look at it now. Yeah, so as you see that these graphs are going down, which means the speculative reads is actually ending. Whatever it was doing previously, it is terminating those now. Right, there you go. So it is almost zero now. So there's no speculative reads happening on this cluster. So what happens to the read latency? The read latency, as you see, is now below 10 milliseconds at the database level. So which is what I expected, because previously you saw there are spikes all over the place, but now it is actually dropping down quite a bit, as we see here. Yep, so I think that's all I wanted to show you guys. And we can see that the latencies are like pretty much like single digit latencies now compared to what we had previously. So now it's all consistently single digit. So it is important for a smaller cluster like this, where we don't have enough CPUs. So just consider disabling the speculative reads if looking at the monitor, you see the cluster is doing a lot of speculative reads, then and spending time on those. So then disabling that can help a particular customer in urgent need of such attention. Yeah, so the latencies are like already flatlined. Yeah, thank you guys.